Back so fast it's like we never went anywhere. NZV8TV returns. And with the mighty Bathurst Enduro on the horizon, consider this. How many times has the event been won by a non-V8? This is NZV8TV. Brought to you by Smiths Group, suppliers of leading automotive brands. Newlon, Maguire's, House of Colour, Spice Hecker, and a whole lot of other stuff to keep your V8 shiny, cool and fast. Not quite standard? Well, neither are NAC Insurance. They understand. NAC.co.nz. Muscle car racing is cool, and what could be cooler than the biggest gathering of muscle cars in the Southern Hemisphere? We take you to the Australian Muscle Car Masters. And while we're on the subject of muscle, a big block Corvette. Need we say more? From the new issue, the Maguire's feature car is a '69 Camaro convertible, one of my favourites. And Trev gets his Mustang out and shows us what muscle is all about, flexing it.
They are the cars that made men superstars. Vehicles that dominated the Australian motorsport landscape for nearly a decade. And for the first time, they're gathered together for the 4th annual Muscle Car Masters.
And this year, a troop of mighty brave Kiwis will cross the ditch to do battle with the dastardly convicts. Or translated into Kiwi, in a repeat performance of their 2007 invitation across the ditch to this amazing event showcasing Australasian muscle car racing history, the characters and wild machines of the Central Muscle Cars are back to Eastern Creek to take on the Aussies in a Trans-Tasman Muscle Car Challenge. And thanks to Nortec and the Central Muscle Car Series, we'll be there. July 31st, Pukekohe Park Raceway. And it's a final shakedown run for the 25 plus muscle cars before they get packed into the containers to head off to Eastern Creek. We went out there to catch up with some of the action and to talk to the man who put this show on the road.
Back in 2006, a group of us went over to the Muscle Car Masters at Eastern Creek and loved what we saw as far as the cars and the crowd and just the general atmosphere. 2007, we took a group of 25 cars over to Eastern Creek, competed there within our own class and had an absolute ball. So we vowed we were coming back. So 2009, obviously the economy's been quite a bit different than it was back in 07, but we sort of took the bull by the horns. We've been very lucky with some generous sponsorship from Nortec Electronics, Carter Holt Harvey Lodestar and Total Race Supply and Service in Australia. So we've been fortunate enough to be able to get back there, and we're taking 24 cars this time, with for us the absolute highlight being the final race of the Sunday, which will be an all-in between the Bianti cars and ourselves. So we're really looking forward to it.
And the racing is intense.
We've got cars over 30 years old running around with us. Obviously their running gear is not 30 years old. Yeah. But I think for, and I'll say my age, people around our age, they remember the cars, in their heyday. They're loud, they're noisy. We have no restrictions basically on our engines, and so it's quite exciting to watch. We have quite close racing. So and the cars people can remember back in their youth. We're up against Jimmy Richards and John Bow, Tilly's. Those are good pedallers. So we're thoroughly looking forward to it.
There'll also be a chance for Bruce Anderson to relive some of his memories of his time in the Australian touring cars.
He's coming over with us, so we're pretty excited about that car coming back out into the group again. As we are, Angus Fogg obviously coming over in a pre-65 Nova. He's told me he's going to drive to the spirit of the event, so that's good. Shane Wigston, the Group 1 champion this year. Colin Sargison is his stablemate. He's always very competitive. Paul Sinclair in the Reed Ryoko car. He'll be right up there as well. I think those three will be reasonably hard to beat over there. I got to admit, Craig Stacey's AMC Javelin is a very cool car, very cool car. He's not here today. I told him to stay away. Last time in 07, he blew his engine about 2 weeks before we were due to go away. He would be my favourite car.
Now warning, viewer discretion is recommended for the next clip because it does involve an early Camaro. Absolute automotive porn.
It's a 68 Camaro with a 406 small block. Tex Racing 101A gearbox and an old 12-bolt diff, and yeah, it's just a cool old car. Muscle Car Masters at Eastern Creek and Father's Day weekend, 5th and 6th of September, so that'll be cool. We went there in 07 and everyone had a ball, so yeah, we're going to go back and try and repeat it. Yeah, I think I'll be fine until that front straight with a big sweeper at the bottom. I don't know whether it'll go around there, but there's quite a lot of kitty litter there before you hit the tyre barrier, so there's plenty of room to fall off. You do have the odd touch and the odd tag, and yeah, we all get a little angry straight after a race, but usually give it half an hour and everyone's mellowed out then, and that night you have a beer together and you're all friends again. The man that we're all after is Paul Stubber, he's a really good driver, and I'll never be as good as him. So
Look at Stubber here. Look at the way busy.
Spares replay gets it. He was so crossed up.
Now, we've been watching some footage of Paul Stubber, and man is he wild. But Bill, I reckon if you want to beat him, just keep it in a straight line, brother. And now, because I'm biased and can do whatever I like, I'm going to show you another 68 Camaro. This one is Bruce Kett's recently finished Coppins replica.
68 Camaro, Rod Coppins clone, 350 Chevy, but stroke to 406 cubic inch. According to the men, Tony, he built it and he said dine it up at, I think, 674 horsepower. At the flywheel, so yeah. That'll do for now.
So you're off to Eastern Creek, mate?
Yep, second time, so it'll be, yeah, looking forward to it, it'll be great. Yeah, I don't think I'll be sort of giving them too much of a problem. I'm sort of, you know, new car, don't really want any dents and damage in it, so I'll just take my time, take it easy. Neat to see so many people and young people interested in real muscle cars. It's just absolutely amazing.
And as you're watching this, Bruce and the 24 other Kiwi muscle car competitors are getting ready to take on the Aussies at Sydney's Eastern Creek Raceway. And we look forward to bringing you all the coverage and interviews, including some of the great Aussie muscle car racing legends.